Okay, Year 9, we are going to look at some advanced surds today. We're going to look at surds written in brackets. So we've got one bracket that contains 2 plus root 3, and we're going to multiply it by another bracket, 4 plus root 3. And this reminds me of multiplying out 2 brackets, where we multiply everything in the first bracket with everything in the second bracket. So let's go ahead and try that. So 2 times 4 would give me the 8. And then I'm going to multiply the 2 by root 3 on the end. 2 lots of root 3 would just give me 2 root 3s. Coming underneath, I've got root 3 now. It's going to multiply by the 4. And if I multiply 4 by root 3, I'm going to get 4 root 3s. And then I'm going to multiply root 3 by root 3. Now, hopefully you've watched the video called Simplifying Surds before this one. And you should all remember rule number 1 said root x times root x would give me x. Do you all remember that rule? So when I've got root 3 times root 3, that should just give me 3. And all I have to do now is collect like terms. So I have a number term 8 at the beginning and a 3 at the end. Adding those together gives me 11. And then in the middle, I have 2 root 3s and 4 root 3s. So how many root 3s is that? That would be 6 root 3s. And that's my final answer, because I can't simplify this anymore. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys some questions to do now on the next page. I would like you to pause the video and have a go. And I'm going to show you the answers after you've tried. So root 3 plus root 1, and we're going to times that by 2 plus root 3. So pause the video and have a go, please. Okay, so how did we get on? So root 3 times by 2 would give me 2 root 3. And then root 3 times root 3, remembering that rule, is just simply 3. Coming underneath, 1 times 2 is 2. And then 1 times root 3 is just root 3. So how am I going to simplify this? Collect like terms. I have got a 3 and a 2, which gives me 5. And then how many root 3s have I got? I've got 2 root 3. And I've got 1 root 3 there. On this number on the end, this root 3, if it helps you, you could actually put the number 1 in front of that. And then when you're collecting like terms, it might feel a little bit easier. So how many root 3s have we got? At the front, we've got 2 root 3s. And on the end, we've got 1 root 3, which means I've got a total of 3 root 3s, haven't I? Okay. And then number 2 I'd like you to have a go at is this, root 5 minus 1 times by 2 plus root 5. Pause the video, please, and have a go at that one. Okay, how did we get on? So we've got root 5 times by 2 is 2 root 5. And then root 5 times root 5, have you remembered, is just 5. Coming underneath, I'm going to choose a different colour, guys, just so it doesn't get messy. A minus 1 times a 2 is a minus 2, because a minus times a positive is a minus. And then minus 1 times by root 5 is just a minus root 5. Let's collect like terms. In the middle, I've got 5 minus 2, which is 3. How many root 5s have we got? I'm going to come to the end again and put that 1 there. I've got 2 root 5s, and then I'm going to subtract a root 5, which leaves me with just 1 root 5. And I might want to leave the 1 away, 1 out, sorry, like we do in algebra. We don't normally write 1x, do we? We always write just x. So this would just be 3 plus root 5. How did you get on there? Good, I hope. Okay, here's your next question. Root 7 plus 1, and we're going to multiply by 2 minus 2 root 7. Can you guys have a go at that one, please? Okay, we have a root 7 times by 2, which is just 2 root 7s. Now, on this one here, root 7 times 2 root 7. I am just going to write this out over here, guys, so you can see what's going on. Root 7 times by 2 times root 7. That's what I've got there. And if you notice, the root 7 times the root 7, well, isn't that rule which just gives me 7? I've then got to multiply by the 2, and then that leaves me with 14. So up here, root 7 multiplied by minus 2 root 7 is actually 14. It's actually negative 14, isn't it? Because the first term is positive in the first bracket, and over here this is negative 2 root 7, so I'm going to end up with a negative 14. And then coming underneath, I have 1 times 2 is 2, and then I have 1 times a minus 2 root 7 is minus 2 root 7. Let's tidy this up. Going to the middle, I have minus 14 plus 2. So that is negative 12. And then look at my 2 root 7. I have 2 root 7 at the front. And then I am going to subtract 2 root 7. So they cancel each other out to 0. And I'm just simply left with negative 12. I hope this didn't catch you out over here. This part here, so be careful on that. Next question. This time we've got 2 minus 3 squared. Press pause and have a go, please. Okay, I'm hoping that you all realised 2 minus root 3 squared actually means 2 minus root 3 multiplied by 2 minus root 3, because it's the bracket squared. Okay, let's multiply. So 2 times 2 would give me 4, and then 2 times a negative root 3 is minus 2 root 3. Underneath we have 2 times negative root 3. Again, is the same, minus 2 root 3. Finally, we've got negative root 3 multiplied by negative root 3. Well, I know root 3 times root 3 has to be 3 according to that rule we looked at earlier on. And then a minus times a minus is it's plus, isn't it? Let's collect like terms. So I have 4 and 3, just gives me 7. And what's going on in the middle? I have negative 2 root 3 with a minus 2 root 3, and that is a minus 4 root 3. How did you get on there then? So, good, I hope. So, let's have a little look at an old exam question. The length of the side of a square is 1 plus root 2 centimetres. Work out the area of the square Okay, here's the important part. It wants us to give our answer in the form A plus, let me write that again for you, A plus B root 2 centimetres squared. Don't forget your units. So this part written in red looks quite complicated, and they always include that. It just means that's what our answer's going to look like. So it's actually a big clue, to be honest. And we need to find out what the A and the B are. They're just going to be numbers, whole numbers, which are called integers. The important part of the question here at the top is the length of the side of a square. So I would suggest that you, on the next page, draw yourself a square and label the sides. And the side is 1 plus root 2. So if I just draw a square, and I'm going to say this is 1 plus root 2. The height, so both the length and the width are 1 plus root 2. And we need to work out the area. I need to remember the formula, how to find the area of a square. And that's simply length times width, isn't it? So I have this side multiplied by this side. And it's just what we've looked at. It's just two numbers written in brackets. 1 plus root 2 multiplied by 1 plus root 2. Keeps it nice and neat in the brackets, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and multiply out the brackets. Everything in the first bracket will multiply with everything in the second bracket. So 1 times 1 gives me 1. And then 1 times root 2 is simply root 2. Coming underneath, root 2 times 1 again is root 2. And then finally, root 2 times root 2. There's that rule we keep coming across. Would give me 2. Let's collect like terms. So I've got 1 at the beginning and at the 2 at the end. And 1 plus 2 is simply 3. And then how many root 2's do we have? Well, if I place the number 1 again in front of that square root sign and the number 1 there, because I can't see a number, so it must be 1. That now says a 1 root 2 plus 1 root 2. So surely that's just 2 root 2. So the answer is 3 plus 2 root 2. But don't forget, because it's area, I have to use centimetres squared, my square units. Okay, so how did you guys get on? I hope you did really well. If you're struggling on this video, go back to the first video, which is called Simplifying Surds. Practice that skill a little more. Okay, I hope you guys did well. Goodbye.